Hey everybody, Jeremy here, and a couple of weeks ago I did a video on this. This is the Halo Fidget Spinner. And although I know that fidget spinners are getting more popular around these parts, I didn't expect that video to do as well as it did. And as a result, had a few more companies contact me and ask me if I would like to try out their particular fidget spinners, and I said sure. This spinner is coming to you from Jarumax. So this is the Jarumax fidget spinner, and this costs $17.99 at the time of this recording on Amazon.com. When you buy it, it's going to come in this little box, very simple. Fidget spinner just slides right down in there, and this is what you get. So as far as the design goes, depending on what kind of fidget spinner you want, and that's kind of one of the neat things about these little gadgets, you can have a huge collection of them because different companies produce their own unique designs. And one of the unique designs about this particular fidget spinner is the fact that you have these 6 ball bearings on the outside of the spinner. So they're exposed, and it helps to add more contrast to it, helps make it look a little cooler, to be honest with you. And besides that, the build quality of this particular fidget spinner, outside of these metal ball bearings, it does feel a bit cheap due to the plastic that is used for the majority of this device. Now, one thing that I really don't like because of that quality plastic is it just feels a little cheap in your hand, to be honest with you, and it can also be quite noisy. Although I haven't seen a fidget spinner that's completely silent, what I tend to do with my fidget spinners is I'll give it a spin and I'll continuously stop it, and I'll keep going, and I'll stop, and I'll go like this. But because of this somewhat hollow, cheap plastic that this is made out of, it will make more noise than a fidget spinner that's made of sturdier stuff. Let me see if you can kind of hear this. So if I just hold this up to the mic, if you could hear that, what you mostly hear is not the fact that there's something loose inside of the spinner, because there isn't. It's just this plastic. It tends to be quite noisy. So if you're in a very quiet environment and you're just playing around with this thing, it can be more distracting than you might want it to be. However, when you're just spinning it on the table, it doesn't tend to make more noise than any other typical fidget spinner would. In fact, this spins for quite a long time. I had it clocked at over 4 minutes on a table, flat surface. I gave it a good strong spin. It kept spinning for about 4 minutes. And I know that a lot of people like to know about that. But another thing that I do like about this spinner is that in the center, it is recessed. And that's good because it allows your finger to fall into this little finger trap, if you will, and it'll help you keep it balanced more. When you're spinning it on one finger, you don't have to try as hard to keep the balance because your finger has some place to rest. Now, at the same time, as you begin to turn the spinner in your hands as you're spinning it, there's quite a violent shake. When you turn it at like this angle, when you get it right here, you feel it vibrate. The weight really starts to crap the bed at this point. And you can probably see, although I am rotating it, it is starting to shake within my hand. And on more than one occasion, by trying to spin it and have it on one hand, if I let it go too soon as I'm turning it like this spinner will have a tendency to literally fly away. Because if you get it at that perfect angle, when the weight distribution is fighting with itself, it has a tendency to become a frisbee. So unless you're really, really careful with this thing, if I were you, when I'm spinning it, I'll just make sure that I have it sturdy and in the place that I want it to be before trying to do a lot of fancy stuff with it. Because if you let loose, this will let loose. And that is a flaw that I've noticed with this. And that is in addition to the way that it feels as far as the build quality goes. So they did some things right. I do like the recessed center. I do like the look of the exposed ball bearings, but what got wrong with this particular spinner is just the build quality. I don't really care for the type of plastic that's been used for it. And I think maybe even that plastic probably helps to contribute to the quite violent reaction when you're spinning it and when you let it go prematurely and it goes flying all over the place. So this is just another option for you if you're looking for a fidget spinner. And if none of the negative things that I said, if you feel like that's not going to affect your spinning experience, then by all means, well, go for it. $17.99 on Amazon if you are interested in this particular Jarumax fidget spinner. So I got more videos involving fidget spinners coming up, at least one more video, so be on the lookout for that. And if you want to see that video, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and that you click that bell so that you can be notified when that video goes live. So thank you so much for watching this, and until next time, I'm Jeremy, and I will talk to you later.